Here at Helmuth Ford, we are a small town dealership with no hassle and no pressure.
Delta Fire and Rescue presents the Delta Haunted House at 109 North Center Street in Delta. Admission is just $10 per person. The Delta Haunted House is open each Friday and Saturday throughout October and on Halloween night from 8 to 10 p.m. Food and drinks will be available for purchase, and now accepting cash and most major credit cards. It's the Delta Fire and Rescue Delta Haunted House, Fridays and Saturdays in October and on Halloween night. Watch Pekin Panther football live right here this fall on Steve Shetler Media, Facebook, and YouTube with live announcers and an updated scoreboard, plus an area scoreboard to keep you updated on other schools of interest. It's Pekin Panther football live right here on Steve Shetler Media.
Mayhem Haunted House at 13011 120th Avenue, Ottumwa. Invite you to their second annual Trunk or Treat and Lighted Tour on Saturday, October 12th. Trunk or Treat from 6 to 7 p.m. is free. Lighted Tour from 6 to 7:30 is $10. And get a full scale from 7:30 to 9 for $15 per person. Come find out why Mayhem Haunted House has been voted the best haunted house in Iowa for multiple times. Open for the Halloween season, Friday and Saturdays, October 18th through November 2nd. Cost is $15. Get ready to scream at Mayhem Haunted House in Ottumwa.
When there's frost in the forecast, pay attention to what your livestock are grazing on. Some forages become toxic when they're nipped by the cold. On Successful Farming Radio.
Successful Farming Radio, providing information farmers need in the field, in the shop, and in the office. Committed to growing your business in agriculture.
Check out our full lineup of Successful Farming podcasts. The Successful Farming podcast goes in-depth into the topics that affect farmers and ranchers. The 15 Minutes with a Farmer podcast offers a quick conversation between an editor and a farmer. The SF Shorts podcast offers bite-sized interviews about agricultural topics. And the SF Daily podcast covers commodity markets, weather, and the big things happening in agriculture each morning. Search for Successful Farming wherever you download your podcasts.
Welcome to the soothing sounds of cropland seed. It's the kind of sound you only get with broad access to high-performing genetics and traits, and years of data from extensive testing. Also, retailers can recommend what will work best in your fields. Take some stress out of your season. Talk to your local retail seed expert about cropland seed today.
When we get a frost, forage crops such as Sudan grass, sorghum, and sorghum Sudan grass hybrids will build up a toxic gas called prussic acid, which is poisonous to cattle and sheep. Signs include staggering, labored breathing, spasms, and foaming at the mouth. They can die within an hour if not treated. There are steps you can take to prevent it. If you haven't had a frost yet, avoid grazing on nights when there's a chance for frost because the toxin will develop in the plant within hours. Rebecca Vitito is an extension field agronomist at Iowa State University. She also recommends not grazing any wilted plants or new regrowth coming from those plants.
When it's developing that new regrowth is going to have really high potential levels of that prussic acid. We want people to wait to graze until that new growth is at least 18 to 20 inches or 24 to 30 inches for like sorghum Sudan grass. Now, sometimes in the fall, like in Iowa, if it's not that tall, once we have that light frost, I don't expect those warm season annuals to grow a whole lot more.
Your next option is to stop grazing the forage and harvest it to feed later.
If you were to mow it and let it dry, those forages should be safe to feed within 5 to 6 days after being dried. So that would be one potential option there. You could also chop it for silage. And then if we wait the proper time, usually we want to delay feeding that silage for at least 8 weeks after ensiling. That's also going to greatly reduce that risk.
I'm Jody Henke. Learn more about prussic acid and frosty forages at agriculture.com.